Okay, so here we're going to rationalize the denominator. Okay, that's what the question would ask for. All right, and the reason why is the denominator at the moment is irrational. Okay, and we need to rationalize it. So then the number on the bottom will be rational. It won't be a root. So the way we do that is we just simply times the top and bottom by what's on the bottom there, root 5 over root 5. Now you're allowed to do that because I'm not actually doing anything wrong and I'm not changing anything. You know, it's like timesing it by 1, isn't it? Because if you think about it, root 5 divided by root 5 is 1, isn't it? Yeah? So I'm not doing anything wrong. But what happens when I times the top by together, I'll have 1 times root 5 is root 5, and the bottoms together, root 5 times root 5 is 5. And you notice then I've rationalized the denominator. Now on the bottom, there's no roots there anymore. It's just a whole number. Okay. On the top though, we've got a root, and that's okay. But I've done what I've been asked. We've rationalized that denominator. Okay. Often we could get questions which might simplify a bit further. So suppose they have this and they say rationalize this. Well, if I times top and bottom here by root 3 over 3, root 3 over root 3, because that's what's on the bottom, root 3. So I times top and bottom by root 3. So 3 times root 3 is 3 root 3. And of course then root 3 times root 3 is just 3, and the 3's will cancel. Okay, 3 divided by 3 is just 1, so we get root 3. Now another type of question where they ask us to rationalize is when you've got two terms on the bottom. So suppose I've got this, suppose I've got 1 over 6 plus root 2. Okay, if I've got that, okay, we've got to do something slightly different, right? We've now got a times top and bottom again, but this time we've got a times by the what we call the conjugate, right, of this, or basically this, but changing the sign, so it'll be 6 minus root 2. Okay, but if I times the top by that, I've got to times the bottom by it as well. Okay, so let's put brackets around them. So it looks a lot more complicated, but as I said, when you get two terms on the bottom, you've got to do this. You've just got to times it by the same two terms, but change the sign. Now on the top, I get 1 times this, which is just, well, 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times root 2 is root 2, negative root 2. On the bottom, when I times these, I've got to do FOIL. First, 6 times 6 is 36. Outer, 6 times root 2 is 6 root 2, or minus 6 root 2. Inners, root 2 times 6 is plus 6 root 2. And then last, root 2 times root 2 is 2, or negative 2. And what you'll notice is these will cancel out. Okay, so we end up having on the top 6 minus root 2, and on the bottom, 36 take away 2 is 34.